story actually. When I was very young, very young, like 2-3 years of age, my father's friend's son was Mr. Milton. We used to live in the same neighborhood. Amar bashar ulta diker garage we used to play drum kit. So that's my vision of a drum kit, the very first vision of a drum kit. And I was really very interested in that, but I could never go near. So it was just a vision, you know, and I needed to know what is it. I was always interested in it. After many years, finally I got hold of a drum kit. My first experience was on snare only. I was in class 2 or 3. In my school, there was a parade band. I was still in the kindergarten. Unfortunately, no one could play the snare drum. Everybody could play the bass and the tenor. No one could play the snare drum. So one day I went to the practice session and they gave me a pair of sticks and they told me to hit on the floor. So I was just hitting on the floor and the guy says, you know, you just might be able to play. So he gave me a snare drum, and I was the most smallest, shortest snare player of the whole parade band. That continued for about 2-3 years. So my first experience was only on a snare, and it was too big. It was so big for me to carry that the band, usually what happens, the band marches with the kids, right? But my school band used to stay in one spot because I could not walk with the snare drum. I was that little. So that's how it started. A band named Suicide Train back in Montreal in '88. I never had a drum kit. There was this guy who used to rehearse next door in Montreal. One day my father told me, "Mashe jao, oke bolo, bondo korte ami namaz pori." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? This guy is a white French Canadian guy who plays drums, and you want me to go and tell him to stop so that you can pray?" And my dad was like, "Yeah, I do it every day. He knows. Let's go." So I went there. The first day, I told him, "Oh, okay, I understand. 10 minutes break." Yeah. So eventually, on the third day, I asked him for a pair of sticks. After 3 months, his band kicked him out and appointed me as the drummer. And I never had a drum kit, so he lent me his kit. That's a good thing about Canadians; they're very friendly. So that was my first band. Hell of a lot of job. Hell of a lot of job. It's rather a serious exercise. It's more like a drill. You gotta do it day in, day out, every day. Put yourself in that situation where you can say that, yeah, I can play and make money. Oh my God, there are so many. There are so many. One thing that happened once, I think because I was playing somewhere, I know where it was. It was Gazipur Ordnance Factory. My first visit to a place where they make guns, you know, when I was playing there. I started playing. It was not my own kit. There were a lot of other bands who played. Fortunately, I didn't carry anything. Usually I carry my pedals, my other accessories, but I never carried anything because I knew I'm the only one who's going to play the double bass drums. So we were playing Sweet Child of Mine, and in the middle of the song, right before the main interlude, my bass drum's hammer on the right side pops off from the pedal, and when I was hitting it, it was just the stick that was going and it was doing it like so this sound. And then I switched to my left leg and I was playing the whole song with my left leg. And there was this guy whose head was right under my seat trying to fix. I was like, we said, "My boss like eventually we fixed it, and I played the show through. But later on, when I got off the stage and I was talking to the rest of the guys, man, Janan na ajke ki hoise? It was such a pain. Everyone was like, please. I don't know, you guys didn't realize it? I said, no, it was alright. Okay, no, it's okay. Everything is fine. So experiences like this always happen. It even happened, I think this year. I was playing in London in front of about 100,000 people, and the same thing happened. The night before, I told the guy, I don't want to use these pedals, get me a pair of new ones. He goes, oh, I can fix it, you know. I said, okay, fine. Same thing. I was playing and somebody's head was here trying to fix the pedals. But at the end of the day, the show goes on, you know, nothing stops you. So I've never stuck myself to a specific genre. You know, I would listen and play everything that comes in front of me. I mean, the very first song I played on a drum kit was a Poison song. My favorite, I grew up listening to Metallica, album after album after album, Iron Maiden, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, you know. I would even listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan, B.B. King, and pick them up. So music was not anything specific. It was like a whole one big thing for me. So I picked up anything and everything that I could, that I liked. Okay, for me, a song is one whole thing. It's one piece of music that I have read from beginning to end. So I take everything into account. Every little noise, every little note, every single thing that we play is accounted for in my head. You know, it happens as a musician. You know, every time সবকিছু যেভাবে আমরা চাইছি হয় না, একটু এদিকে হয়. So that's where the practice comes in, right? আচ্ছা, এবার হয় নাই, next time, okay, I'll be more conscious. So আমার জন্য ব্যাপারটা এরকম যে everything has to happen, or else the next thing wouldn't happen. And the band I play for, it's so, they're like, everything has to be very perfect. Okay? Everything has to be perfect. Okay? So it helps me in that way that everything that I'm looking for is actually happening, you know, and so I'm progressing to the next phase. So for me, it's one whole thing. And I never take it as, okay, আমি আমার পার্টিটু বাজে যাচ্ছি, হ্যাঁ, আর কি হইলো চারটা শেষে বুঝিয়ে দিবে. No, it never happens like that. Even if there is a monitor problem, or if there is something that হয় না যে স্টেজে অনেক সময় একটা সাউন্ড you're not getting it in your ear, that bothers me, and it shows on my face. I'm here to only tell you this. You gotta keep your face straight. I'm like, oh man, I was having that problem, you know. But it's one whole thing from the beginning. It has to be burned. It has to be burned. That pops in my head just like that. Yeah, there are many songs that I love to play. Rock and roll is not a song of Led Zeppelin I love to play. I love to play Rush songs because they always, always inspired me into odd time signatures and dirty approaches. Interesting Miles songs. Shaka Bongo is one of my favorite songs. Then Frustration is another song that I love to play. Any given time, any given moment, I don't need to check anything to just start off playing. You know, it's one of those songs. I love playing Bhulbo Na Tumhe. That's a lovely ballad. Clear state of mind, being fit, and being aware. Oh man, you don't define a good drummer because you don't know who's got what. So I would really say that is my answer. Play as hard as you can, be methodical, know what you do. That's very tricky. That's very tricky. I like, okay, let me be very honest. Samiul was one guy I really liked of X-Pulse. I like Riaz. I like Dio. I don't know if you know this guy. I know Marathon. You know him. He's pretty good too. Then I know this guy I've never met. I've only seen his videos. He is pretty steady. He is very innovative. His name is, I think, a.k.a. I haven't met him. I've never seen him play, but I've seen his videos. I would say it has to come from your consciousness. And okay, I always have learned one thing. আমি তো ম্যাথমেটিক্যালি মানে কারো কাছে হাতে ধরে শিখি না। My eyes and my ears were my biggest teachers till today. So I always let the other guy play. Okay, and that's how I reduce my overplay, because I always follow the rhythm. I always follow the bass line, which is like my lifeline. And I would always try to complement them rather than overpowering them to follow. Let's say, okay, when I'm taking a lead, I'm taking a lead. But when I'm not taking a lead, I'm actually trying to figure out who is doing what and how can I stay along with it. You know, so that reduces my overplaying a lot. I would say watching the guy who used to play with Satriani, watching him actually made me aware of not overplaying, because there are so many things he could do, but he just stick to the backbeat, you know. And that's like creating the vacuum that everybody else is filling up, and it sounds so amazing. So, you know, for me, being fast is not the thing. I gotta say that's how I reduce my overplaying. I follow the other instruments more than taking the lead, because I know when I will be taking the lead. There will be a point of the song or an instrumental where I will take the lead, but until then I am actually trying to complement the other guy, and that reduces overplaying like water. না, not really. আমি কখনো ওইভাবে শিখি নাই। আমার সবকিছুই আমার কান দিয়ে শিখতে হয়েছে। I used to, আমার কিছু স্টুডেন্টস ছিল, আমি ওদেরকে হার্ড টাইম দিতাম। যখন আমি নিজে আটকে যেতাম তখন ওদেরকে আমি এমন হার্ড টাইম দিতাম যে ওরাই আটকে থাকে। I once told them to take 5 bottles and try to play on top of the bottle caps. You have to hit the tip with the bottle on the bottle cap, right? So they went crazy thinking about how to do it. I কিসের মধ্যে পালাইলেন না, এটা তো হয় না। না 5টা কোকের বোতল নিবা, সামনে রাখবা, you have to make one sound, you know. Eventually I got them stuck to something and trying to figure out my stuff, what I'm gonna tell them next. As I said before, my eyes and my ears. There are many things I don't hear but I can see. Those were the ghost notes. So I started picking up the ghost notes. How can I pick up or play a ghost note that is not gonna sound at all? So from there my dynamic diversions have started, and I've been taking it all over. I don't care if the snare mic is limited to a certain pressure point. I would still play this regardless of whether it comes through the FOH or not. Just না যে ঠিক আছে আমি বাজাইলাম না because আমি জানি এটা আসবে না. No, still do that. So ওই জিনিসগুলো, and at the end of the day you would feel it. Everything is right here, you know. You would feel it যে the notes you have played, which never sounded, actually filled the whole thing up. So my approach is like that. It's very layman's term of saying things, but that's how I did it. In 3 words?
Alright.
It's been a ride. So it's been a crazy hell of a ride.
That's 4 words.
That's not
Alright, we're done.